Welcome to the Manifesting Millions podcast. I am your host, Rashida McFerrin, and today we are going to be continuing the Rich Auntie Life series and talking about 3 quick tips to buying your first investment property. But before you do that, I want you to head over to rashida.ai and grab your freebie, which is your exclusive millionaire mindset guide to get you started on your millionaire journey. And then I want you to come back over and give us a listen and learn how to invest in your first official investment property. Lord knows that the internet will have you thinking that investing in real estate is a very simple, quick, and easy thing that's just going to make you tons of money overnight. And you would think so, right? Yeah, no, it doesn't work like that. Listen to me. I got my first real estate license in 2004 and bought my first investment property 3 years later. And that was the biggest lesson of my 20s. And it cost me a ton of money. I learned some hard lessons real quick because the market is relentless in teaching you lessons. Here's what we're going to do. If you don't have a background in real estate or finance, first I want you to do some research and invest some time into learning as much about the real estate markets as you possibly can, because investing in real estate, it's a process, number one. Number two, there's methods to the madness. And then number three, you got to know what you're doing. And you got to be good with people. Figuring out what type of real estate you want to invest in is a key part of figuring out where you want to enter the market, and then figuring out how you want to handle your investments from there. So number one, we're going to crunch numbers and figure out what you can afford. And I know your initial thought is, well, I'm investing in real estate so it can pay me, not so I can pay it. Well, you're going to pay it first. You got to pay your dues. That's just the reality. It really does take money to make money. And in order for you to make money in real estate, you're going to be the one shelling out the cash up front initially in the investments. I know you see all the hype on social media and on Google, buy real estate with no money down. While I'm sure those instances do exist, I kind of stay away from the hype. I really do, because the hype will get you caught up. So you want to know what kind of property you are looking to invest in. You want to do the numbers to make sure you can afford the property and be able to pay for it until it starts generating you cash flow. You want to know that it's going to eventually make you money over the long term. Excuse me. Number two, buy in a growing area. You would think this is just basic common sense, but for some people it isn't. You want to buy in an area where it's developing and there's continued progression of development in regards to the market itself. That shows you a few things: that real estate values will continue to build and grow over time. You'll be able to ultimately make more money on your investment over time. And I'm going to say this again, real estate is a long game. It's not a short game. It's a long game. And so know that when you're investing in a property and you're buying, say you're buying a rental property and you're getting a 30-year mortgage. Now, how long you keep your property is up to you, but investing in it is a long game. You don't freak out when the market tanks like it's doing kind of now, and run to the market and try to sell your property for more than it's worth, and it won't sell because you're trying to ask for value that isn't there. Let's take, for instance, the Texas real estate market. This is a general observation. Number one, very rarely do people buy 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom homes anymore, unless it's a starter property. You are going to have a very hard time selling a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home when there are properties down the street that have 4, 5, and 6 bedrooms. I'm just saying, and are possibly maybe even the same size, or they're more custom built. So do yourself a favor, unless you're specifically targeting starter homes for a property, or you're buying like a condo, say a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo, or you're buying a condo that's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. That's different. But like single family homes, residents, that's in a very established neighborhood that's been around for 10 to 15 years, and you have custom homes in the area, Buying a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house is a very bad idea. Very bad. Because when it comes time for you to sell that property, as a buyer, let me tell you what I'm thinking about. I want, number one, the biggest bang for my buck. I want the biggest house that I can get. I'm just gonna be real in this millennial slash Gen Z culture, so I can be on social media flexing and showing how big my house is, because that's what everybody do now. And so if I am in a neighborhood where I have houses that are 5 to 10 years old and my lender has given me approval that's up to a certain amount, naturally I'm going to go to the house that has the most custom features, the biggest lot, the biggest bedrooms, and just standard. You need a home office now because you just need one. It's just a part of this. Started to be standard like back in 2006. So if you ain't got those basic things, for me, as say I'm a family of 4 and we're a growing family and I'm possibly thinking about having more children, I'm not even looking halfway your way in considering you as a property that I would buy for my family. Why? Because your property is basic at best. As you're buying in the growing area, you want to make sure that in addition to your homes, the homes growing, meaning there are additional communities being thrown up all across the area, that you have infrastructure coming to the area as well, meaning shops and movie theaters and shopping malls and things like that. That helps. Number 3, use smart financing. So when you go buy an investment property, there's this house hacking tip that people are using an FHA loan to buy their investment property instead of doing the conventional 20% down. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know that I would ever do a conventional loan unless I absolutely had to. It's just you're spending way more money than you have to, and you could be leaving that money, not necessarily putting that money in your bank account. You can be leaving most of that money in your bank account. And if I can get an FHA loan and it's 3.5% down, and I have the possibility of PMI, right? Maybe that's $300 a month for maybe 2 or 3, maybe 4 years max, because usually by the 4th year, you've paid off so much of your house and the PMI starts to fall away because there's no reason for you to continue paying that, because the value of the house has increased in regards to value and your mortgage has decreased over time. And so the PMI falls off, right? Why would I willingly give you 20% of my money just to sit in my house, especially if I'm going to sell it in the next 5 to 10 years? What sense does that make? On the one hand, I could see that your loan to value ratio would be way lower. I get that part. And if you wanted to use the equity in your house to use that to go secure another property, I could get that. I get that too. Don't see a logical reason as to why I need to go spend more money if I don't have to. It's just food for thought. That's the last tip. And so we're going to go back through the 3 tips. Number 1, focus on cash flow. Number 2, focus on buying in a growing area. And then number 3, you want to leverage smart financing, and you will be ready to invest in your first investment property. That's all for today's episode. Let me know if any of this information was helpful. As always, head over to rashida.ai, as I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, and grab your freebie and leave us a 5-star review if you think anything in this episode was helpful to you, and share it with a friend. It helps our listenership grow. And as always, I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.